Inflation is taking the money from the majority of Americans. However, I want to ensure that your money is not being taken as well. Here's what I can tell you. One of my friends was recently told that having money is a crime. Can you believe that statement? Having money is a crime. How can that be? Well, here's the reason why. According to a police officer, when things go from bad to worse, people act out of desperation. So you want to make sure you don't have anything nice, you're not driving anything nice, you're not buying anything luxurious like, food. Well, here's what happens in times that are very difficult, in times like a recession. We see crime go up, we see petty theft increases, even debt defaults rise as well. One of the things that one of my friends recently had happen to him is he was trying to sell a car. A person paid cash, which normally you want to pay cash. It wasn't a very expensive car. Well, some of the hundreds were real, some of the hundreds were fake. So he pretty much got scammed out of his car. Now, yes, he's probably going to get his car back, but at the same time, this can happen with not just a car. I've seen this happen with a cell phone before. Yeah, this almost happened to me about 6-7 years ago when I was trying to sell a cell phone. Somebody tried to pay me in hundreds, and some of the hundreds were fake, but I caught them. But this is what happens. Again, having money shouldn't be a crime, but having money or any type of asset could potentially mean you're either in a crime situation, or you're potentially a victim, or someone's looking at you, all right? Here's the crazy part about all this. We are now being blamed for what is happening. We're being blamed because, we needed some stimulus money, and so we got stimulus money, and then now the government's in a difficult situation where they've given so much money, they've contributed to higher inflation, and so now we're trying to bring inflation back down by raising rates, which makes it difficult to go and borrow. Again, all this stuff is coming back to us, the American people. Here's what I can tell you. If somebody decides to rob your home, according to multiple reports, we are going to be blamed for having nice things. When somebody breaks into your car, you're likely to be blamed for leaving something possibly of value to somebody else sitting in plain sight. And when a friend of mine recently was robbed of his watch, here's what the officer had to say. The officer said, "You shouldn't provoke somebody by wearing such a nice piece of jewelry." That's what he said. Does this make sense to you? We are the ones that are being blamed for other people having a tough time. Now, I want to just come out and say this one thing. I get it. I understand that a lot of people are having a very difficult situation or a very difficult time, and there's tough situations, tough decisions they have to make every single day. Whether or not they buy food, pay their rent, buy medicine, put fuel in their car, they got to make these tough decisions, right? I'm not here to scare you, but I want you to understand what's happening. We're in the beginning stages of this tough economic cycle. Things are going to get worse before they get better. And I don't want you to wait. Okay, don't wait to be prepared for what is coming. Now, here's some of the things I just want to say. And I've talked about this before, and I want to give you this advice once again. Now is the time to sell things that are valuable. Don't wait to sell a car that you no longer are using. Sell it now and get as much money as possible. Sell your RV, your side-by-side, your toys, even that expensive golf set that you hardly ever use. Sell it. Sell it, put that money away, because there's going to come a time very soon when the people with cash are the ones calling the shots. And you want to be one of those people. Now, I bring this up because of this. Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions. Some of the questions I've been getting that people are asking is, when should I invest into the stock market? When should I invest into real estate? Well, here's the thing. If you have no money, you can't invest into anything. You cannot invest. It's not possible. You can invest your time, but again, time only has so much value to somebody that doesn't have money. So here's what I can tell you, and here's what many experts are going to say, is you need to set aside some money now. Okay, you need to prepare. And I hate sound like a broken record and tell you that you need to prepare, but from what I've seen lately, here inside the community, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, many different places, is that the majority of Americans believe that things are going to get better quickly. That once inflation starts coming down a little bit faster, things are going to get better. However, that's where you could be wrong. Because in order to bring inflation down, we're sitting at 6.4%. We are likely going to be into that 5%, 5-6% range very soon. Could potentially be in the next couple of weeks. But here's the thing. If inflation comes down, it's coming down because interest rates are rising. As rates rise, it gets more expensive for housing, more expensive to purchase a car, more expensive to just service debt like a credit card, right? And so that's the problem. Is if you have any type of debt, or if you're potentially going to get some new debt, the problem is it's going to cost you even more money. This is where the majority of Americans are now saying that they are being robbed of their money every single month because they're paying too much for credit card debt, paying too much for a home loan that they just can't afford, right? They're paying too much for rent, too much for utilities, too much for food. All this stuff is getting just too expensive simply because they were not prepared for it. So, the last thing I just want to say is having money isn't a crime, but having the ability to buy things, having the ability to afford food, this should be a basic right, but it's not anymore. It's not anymore because right now it's difficult to earn an income. And it's difficult to pay for things that are overpriced in this tough time. So, the last thing I just want to say, get ready. Get ready because things are only going to get worse. As people cannot afford their rent, cannot afford food, cannot afford their medications, guess what they're going to do? They're going to come after those that have those things. This could be a friend, this could be a family member, this could be somebody that just sees you driving by every single day and thinks, you know what? I'd like that car. I'm going to take that. It's that simple. Right now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to get robbed due to inflation. So do what you can, protect yourself, but be prepared because again, things are only going to get worse.